Hey, what's going on everyone? I hope everyone is doing well, and thanks for joining me today for your daily dose of Star Wars. A couple days ago, I did a video about my favorite scene in The Force Awakens, Rey's vision. If you missed that, this video is going to go along with that a little bit, so over the basics of that one was rather than viewing the journey of the lightsaber, which was the most popular theory, my thought was that it was showing us about Rey and the journey she is going to endure with the Force throughout the next couple of films. You can watch that video first, or this one, or just this one, whatever you want to do. While this video will have a loose tie-in to the other video, the majority of this one will be about the reasons why Yoda will be in The Last Jedi. In Rey's vision, we see her fall from the collapsing Cloud City hallway onto a rocky terrain, where we hear Luke scream, "No," and Yoda says, "It's energy, surrounds us, and binds us." Connecting this with the video from the other day, I said that everything Rey's vision that she sees is something that she currently had no knowledge of at the time of The Force Awakens, but is likely going to learn a lot about everything she saw and experience a lot of these things as well. When Rey hears Yoda, that's just the tip of the iceberg for why Yoda will help train Rey in the next film. The lines we hear in Rey's vision are from Empire, but originally this Force vision was going to be a lot longer, which I hope they release at some point down the road on some 4K edition of the movie. In addition, with this Force vision originally going to be longer, Yoda was supposed to be in the film physically, with the visual going to go along with his voice. Marianne Brandon and Mary Jo Markey are the editors of The Force Awakens, and they confirmed in an interview with Entertainment Tonight that Yoda was originally in the film, but his larger cameo hit the cutting room floor. The two said, "There was one point where we were actually thinking of having Yoda in the film, and then we decided not to. Frank Oz came in for a day and did a whole bunch of Yoda, and he was over the moon to do it, and we were tickled pink." And then it hit the cutting room floor. To pile on to that, Anthony Bresnikan of Entertainment Weekly says that Frank Oz recorded new lines of dialogue for The Force Awakens, but J.J. Abrams decided against using these in the final cut of the film and switched them out for the lines from Empire. Bresnikan was also told that a Yoda puppet had even been built for The Force Awakens in the event that they opted to use him on screen, and that the special care had gone into making sure that Yoda looked right, just as they had done with Chewbacca and Admiral Akbar. It's not clear if this Yoda had actually gone in front of the cameras or if he'd just been constructed in the event that they decided to actually use him. Back in April of 2016, Making Star Wars got word that Frank Oz was heading to the UK to Pinewood Studios, where The Last Jedi was being filmed. They verified that Frank Oz was in the country for work-related purposes rather than just a leisurely visit. MSW also said that they have heard the rumor mill suggesting that one of the Octu sets was recreated at the studio to allow the use of a puppet, which would be Yoda. MSW only got word from this source from one, and they never got it verified by a second source. Jason Ward speculates that we could see a little blue ghost hanging around with Luke and Rey, and he also mentioned that the length Frank Oz was going to be on set at Pinewood was unknown. This report conflicted a little with one that Star Wars Newsnet reported on the month following in May of 2016, when they were told that Frank Oz had been in to record new audio as Yoda for Rian Johnson's currently in production Star Wars Episode 8 in England. The source also says that, to their knowledge, Oz is the only one to lend his voice and is not on hand for anything visual. With these two conflicting reports, the only thing that is for sure is that Frank Oz was at Pinewood Studios, likely for The Last Jedi, but not 100% certain. Following this up, in March of 2017, Frank Oz did an interview with Variety, and he was asked about Star Wars and his involvement in The Last Jedi, and this, aside from his voice in Rey's vision in The Force Awakens, is the biggest indicator that he will indeed be in The Last Jedi, unless that hits the cutting room floor as well. The interviewer told Frank, "There are reports that you might reprise Yoda in the new Star Wars," to which Frank Oz had the most interesting response when he said, "I feel like I'm a prisoner at war here, and I can only give you my name, rank, and serial number. To be true to the people who asked me, and they're kind of my family, I have to say I've been asked not to talk about it. I love Yoda. I would be very happy to talk to you about it at the time that they let me." They being Lucasfilm. Why wouldn't he just say no if he wasn't in the movie? This response is more likely the response of someone who is in Star Wars but can't talk about it. What do you think? Is Yoda in The Last Jedi or not? Do you even want him to be? Let me know with a comment down below. The most recent piece of evidence to support Yoda being in The Last Jedi is because we heard the same line from Yoda in the first teaser for The Last Jedi as we did in Rey's vision during The Force Awakens. Surrounds us and binds us. In order to hear that in the trailer, you have to listen very closely, but it's at the part where it looks like they are inside the Force tree or are underground. Why wouldn't Yoda appear in The Last Jedi? It was more understandable that he didn't appear in The Force Awakens because Rey was just beginning to discover her Force abilities in this film, and she was just taking her first steps into a larger world, if you will. Now that Rey has found Luke and is going to begin her training, with Luke being so interested in Force lore, he's gonna have to tell Rey what happened to him, and a portion of Rey's training will probably be understanding how Luke was trained and the things Yoda made him do. I'm sure Luke will tell Rey about Yoda, and that we will have, if nothing else, at least another voice cameo, especially with all of the information we have on his involvement at Pinewood Studios. We should get something from Yoda in The Last Jedi. You know the way it goes. If you like this video, hit that thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this one. If you're a daily coffee drinker and want to be the first to see a new video, hit that bell to be among the very first to know when a new video goes live. Thank you all for watching, and as always, keep loving Star Wars. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.